All right, namaste, everyone. So good to be here with you all again, back in our community, here to serve in this critical time, this very unstable time in our world. And I've been just checking out what other people are doing. And the first thing I want to say is, of course, this is a space to support you. This is a space to inspire you. This is a space to offer you as many resources as possible that are practical wisdom, what I call. So practical tools that are really going to help you cultivate wisdom and help you cultivate an elevated awareness to literally raise your consciousness, because this is a time, and one of the key attributes of being a clear seeing spiritual seeker or yogi or yogini, priestess, is that we're opening our third eye. And so the function, I'm going to talk a little bit about the function of the third eye tonight before we get into our meditation. The function of the third eye is to see beyond form, is that we train ourselves to see symbolically, to see metaphorically, to understand the meaning and the messages that are being held in experiences that are unfolding in our lives. So we're not just interpreting things on a literal level. We are certainly not just interpreting things on an egoic level of me, mine, how this is affecting me. And there's a great post that I'm just getting ready to do on Instagram, a repost that someone had written about, this isn't about you. Coronavirus isn't about you. This is about the world. This is about remembering that we're part of this global community. This is about asking, how can we serve? How can we be responsible and respectful to our brothers and sisters? How can we rise up and help each other? So the third eye perspective, or Ajna chakra, is to cultivate the ability for us to, I like to say, see from an eagle's eye perspective, or some people, I've heard it said, get altitude. So we're seeing things from a larger perspective. It's like if we could raise up from 30,000 feet view and look at the whole scene. So this is happening on a global level, and it's very important that we cultivate wisdom, that we cultivate practices that keep us really grounded, not in such a state of egoic fear or panic, even with our health, of course, but even financially. But we really start to ask bigger questions. The importance is, what are the questions that you're asking? Are you asking smaller questions like, am I going to get sick? And I'm not saying that's a small question per se, but how can we elevate our thinking metaphorically? This is an opportunity for us to get crystal clear on our values, to reevaluate our lives, to get very clear on our priorities, that we are not here to just make money. We are not here to just pursue our pleasures. We are here to serve, and we are here to be on a path of consciousness and of awakening. And so spending time with our families, hunkering down, being in lockdown, being in quarantine, it can bring up a lot, and it's bringing up so much for all of us. But it's also such an incredible opportunity. And so that's what our meditation is tonight, is how do we recognize ourselves as the source? That you are literally the source of calm, of love, of security in your life. It comes from within, it comes from your own awareness. And it means that we have to develop these muscles and skills over time. And it's not easy. This is a discipline. This is a real discipline. It's challenging. So, we're going to do a meditation tonight. As you guys know, I'm going live indefinitely every single day to offer you a variety, a plethora of resources. Yesterday, we did an incredible recording, which was much longer, on an immune boosting broth. And I wanted to bring that to you to give you a really practical recipe to use. One of my very dear friends, Jackie Lolita, is an incredible herbalist, one of the just wisest, most skilled herbalists that I know. So she came over and we filmed in my kitchen this great soup recipe for broth, for immune boosting broth with tons of herbs and minerals, vitamin rich. So check that out. I've offered some different breath practices, different chanting, some different yoga practices I have coming. So please put in the comments what exact content you guys want. I'm going to be in here every day giving it. And today we also had an amazing webinar on mental health skills and what are some skills that you can learn no matter what your profession to help elevate your profession and elevate the people that you serve. So check that out. The link is in my bio. You can check that out right below if you're on Facebook. Okay, so today we are going to get into a meditation, and this is, I'm kind of changing it up every single day. I'm going to offer different practices. I'm putting on my timer here. I use Insight Timer, which is just one of my favorite apps. I'm going to do it for 10 minutes. So we're going to do a 10-minute meditation, and this is a meditation on abundance. So I had already started an abundance sadhana practice. It's a 40-day practice. It's really recommended when you do spiritual practices to do them for a longer period of time, consistently every single day. 40 days is one of the most recommended lengths of time. And I got this from a book called The Abundance Book. Here you have John Randolph Price, and we will put this link in the caption right below. And the way that this particular sadhana works, it's 10 different abundance mantras, 10 different abundance affirmations, and you do them a different one each day. So we're going to work on the second affirmation, and then it's 10 affirmations, and then you do it again, and you repeat it 4 times. So that's 40 days, 10 affirmations 4 times in a row. So this is day 2's affirmation, and I have it here written in the caption. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that this divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. So I'm going to repeat this again, but one of the functions of this particular mantra, and including the mantras that I've been doing in the sadhana, is to really install in us that subconscious belief, that unconscious belief, that inner knowing deep in the well of the unconscious mind that you are the source of the goodness and substance of all good in your life. You are the source and substance of all good, of all your good. So the one thing I want to say before we start this meditation is that even if the shit hits the fan, even when trials and tribulations and crises arise, the way to annihilate anxiety, panic, fear is to become so deeply rooted in your own sense of self and your own source energy that you know that no matter what happens, even if you get the coronavirus, even if one of your loved ones gets the coronavirus, even if someone that you love dies, even if you face real financial struggles, even if we have a recession, you will be okay. You will be okay when you build the inner tools, the spiritual tools, and knowing that no matter what happens, you know how to cultivate resilience. You know how to keep yourself grounded. You know how to keep yourself centered. You know what you need to do to keep going and to thrive. So this kind of relief, this level of empowerment creates sovereignty. It creates autonomy. That you, in your own bubble of self, know that you're going to be okay no matter what happens, even if the worst thing happens. And, I've talked about this somewhat over the last year, but my father passed away last year and he had cancer. And it was a really quick descent and really unexpected, totally out of the blue, out of nowhere, of course. And we thought he was kind of out of the woods, and then it came back like within a month, he was gone. And so I really learned in that phase of my life how self-reliant I was. I really got to see how deeply these practices work. and that this is why we practice. This is why I've done all my tens of thousands of hours of yoga, meditation practice, and training. That when the shit hits the fan and life gets real, I'm okay. And I know how to steady myself. And I know how to see clearly. And the third eye perspective, this is not delusional. This is that we are seeking clear perception, that we will be okay, that you are part of nature, and nature is rising and falling. This is the fundamental truth of life. And it's something that we're all up against right now, which is really uncomfortable. That things change, that things go away, that there really is no financial security. I mean, there's financial security if you save and you're smart and you with your money and you really build up, but there's no security. It's like what Pema Chodron says. There's a basic groundlessness to life. The whole function of life is groundless. At the very root, E equals MC squared. Everything is in flux. Everything is a vibration. Everything is changing. There is nothing tangible to grasp onto. And so this affirmation speaks to that. Who you are is the source of life. Who you are is spirit. I lift up my mind and my heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all good. So you start to generate what you need in your own life, and that is sovereignty. Okay, so we're going to take this mantra, and it's posted there in the caption so you can read it. It is, we're going to do it for 10 minutes. So I'm going to repeat it several times throughout, but I really would love for you to just take this as a contemplation, meditation, and to simply, just to simply feel into this, to allow whatever arises from this affirmation to speak to you. So again, we'll take it for 10 minutes. I have our timer. Sit nice and tall. Feel free to close your eyes if you wish. You can bring your hands in any comfortable position. I like the Jnana Mudra, index and thumb together. You can turn the palms facing upwards. You can turn the palms facing down. You can also have the palms, possibly right hand on top and the thumbs together. Relax the shoulders. Lengthen. Take a nice deep breath together. Release. Again together. And exhale. One more inhaling. And exhaling. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. So you can take this affirmation not just as an affirmation, but as a command, that you're commanding your subconscious mind. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to know, and understand that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and my heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. What does it mean to lift up your heart and lift up your mind? Can you feel that elevated perspective in your mind's eye? Getting altitude with this eagle's eye perspective. Remembering who you are. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. That the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. That the divine presence I am is the source and the substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. What does it mean to be the source and substance of all your good? I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. Bring the hands together at the heart. Let's take a moment to feel into how this affirmation lands in your bones, how it feels within, anchoring this thread of consciousness. I lift up my mind and heart to know, to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. And please send this out to one person that you know that is particularly worried or vulnerable or in fear or alone. One person that you want to dedicate this energy to, that you want to send a little quantum hug. And may they feel this wave of uplift and support and loving kindness. One sound of Om together, inhaling. Gently blink the eyes open. Take a moment. It's always good to transition in your meditations. Just transition slowly, looking around the room. Just notice what you feel in your body. So I offer you this affirmation. I offer you this as a sadhana practice that you can perhaps, if you'd like to join me, I'm going to be in here every single day and offering many different tools, many different kinds of tools, yoga, breath work, meditation, psychology skills, and practices, shadow work to really help us process through and lift up our minds and our hearts on this journey together, and yet stay very grounded in practical wisdom. However, if you would like to join me on this 40-day abundance meditation sadhana, let me know. Also, please put in the comments any questions that you would like. You can DM me, send me a message wherever you are, Instagram, Facebook, but definitely in the comments below. Leave particular questions, particular things you want some support on, and I will create some content for you. Sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on this path. Really elevating as we elevate together. All right, namaste. Big love. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with your loved ones. I know many of us are in challenging situations, maybe at home with kids, or just, there's just a lot going on. So we are really being called, galvanized to a quantum up level. There is no other way to look at it. We are really being called to an initiation. So I'm here for you. We have this. We all have this as a collective family. We're in this together and we can do this. Love you.